Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Tragic Benson. I'm back here with another video, and today is the 2.0 to that mock draft I made a couple days ago, and it is my what I think will happen in tomorrow's 2020 NFL draft in the first round. So to start this off, I'm gonna have to go with the Cincinnati Bengals, and I don't really want to talk about a lot about this, but it's got to be Joe Burrow, Ohio roots, good kid, great football player, breakout star. Really, you can't fumble this if you're the Bengals. You got to take Joe Burrow, and he's the guy to lead them into a possible winning future for the Cincinnati Bengals. With the second pick, the Washington Redskins, I think will take Chase Young, edge rusher out of Ohio State. I think he's a more athletic version of the Bosa brothers. Better prospect in my opinion. Best edge rusher prospect since Myles Garrett. Great athlete. Perfect pass rusher for the new era with Ron Rivera. Could Isaiah Simmons or Jeff Okudah or a tackle be the pick? Maybe. Or maybe are those better fits for need? Yes. But if you have the value of a top tier edge rusher this high on up, which I think is probably the second most important position in all of football, I think you got to go Chase Young number 2. With a third pick, this seems like you could fill the fit in. Is it the best player on the board? No. I'm going to go with Jeff Okudah, cornerback from Ohio State. One of the best corner prospects as well that we've seen in recent years. He's great combine, great tape. Didn't really get thrown on because he's that kind of corner for Ohio State. But great traits. I think he fills in right in for Slay, and I think he's kind of fits with what they have with Trufant and Oruwariye. Fits right in for that defense and kind of fits in with that Bill Belichick way of building from the defensive backs in. And I think that's what Patricia wants to do. So, yep. And the next pick for the Giants, I think they got 2 ways. They either trade back, 3 ways. They trade back, go for a tackle, or they go for Isaiah Simmons. And while I like Isaiah Simmons, one of my favorite players in the draft, my third-rated player in this draft, I think I'm going to have to go with an offensive lineman here. I think it comes down to a few players. I think it could be Mekhi Becton just because of that freak athlete. Could be, and I think either if you don't go that, then you're going with a right tackle to put with Nate Solder on the other side of Nate Solder. And you're either going with Wirfs or Wills. So, but I think Wills is the better prospect. I think Wirfs maybe has slightly better potential, but I think he's not as much of a tackle. I think he's a better guard, but he's still a quality tackle. So I'm going to go with the best tackle, my best right tackle on my board, and my second best tackle overall, and go with Jedrick Wills out of Alabama. Here with the 5th pick, I like Isaiah Simmons in the spot. I think he's perfect in Flores' scheme as a Dolphins fan. And I also think a tackle like Andrew Thomas or Wirfs wouldn't be a horrible spot to take him. But as a Dolphins fan, I'm not going to be that fan. At number 5, what I think is going to happen, it's got to be Tua. If Tua's here at 5, the smoke screens with Herbert are not true. I hope they're not true at least. Please don't be true. But I'm going to go with Tua at number 5. I think he's a perfect fit in Miami. He's on the bench for a little bit behind Fitzpatrick until we know he's healthy. I think he's a perfect fit as a franchise quarterback in Miami. Number 6, I think there's a couple options for him here. I think it's could be Isaiah Simmons, could be off the tackle like Wirfs or Thomas, but let's be real, the Chargers need a quarterback. And do I love Herbert? No. Is he perfect? No. But is he a guy that maybe a year, maybe 2 years behind maybe someone like Newton, if they sign him for agency, Dalton, if they get a trade for him, or Tyrod Taylor if they stick with him? I think you can mold him into the quarterback you want him to be. I think he could be a top-tier quarterback if you just get those mental things to work and kind of get those nicks out of his mechanics as well. Number 7 for the Panthers, I think there's a few places I think Isaiah Simmons could go here. I don't think he's as seamless of a fit in that Luke Kuechly role as you could. I think the whole Clemson Carolina thing is interesting, but that's not where I'm going to go with this pick. I'm going to go with big boy in the trenches. I think they need that identity on defense now that Luke Kuechly's not there. I think they could go Isaiah Simmons to fill that, but I think Derrick Brown is a perfect fit besides Quan Short, and to be a run stopper, but also be a leader and defensive force up front. So I'm going to go with Derrick Brown for the Panthers. And number 8 to the Arizona Cardinals. And they have a lot of interest in Derrick Brown reportedly, but if he's not on the board here, I think they got to go tackle. And they just signed TJ Humphries to, I think, a 2 or 3 year deal. I think he's an okay left tackle, not great, but solid. Definitely better than at least Nate Solder, which is kind of a similar thing as the Giants were in. So now I have the Cardinals here. I think they take the right tackle as well in Tristan Wirfs. Super athletic. I think he fits perfectly with the Kyler Murray quarterback they have. Mobile. Tristan Wirfs is very athletic for a tackle, and he can still slide into guard, which they still need as well if they get a tackle down the line. So I'm going with Tristan Wirfs here at number 8 to the Cardinals. Number 9, and I think this is where the floor for Isaiah Simmons is, for me at least. I think this is a floor for where he's going to go. I think 10 in the real draft is where the floor for him. I think if he gets to Cleveland, offensive tackle can be pushed back. I think they could trade back in the first or use a second rounder to get someone like Cleveland or guys like Isaiah Wilson that they're purportedly interested in. But Isaiah Simmons does not fall any farther than this. For me, I think Jacksonville needs defensive players. Safeties, corners, interior D linemen, everybody, basically. So I think Isaiah Simmons, while he can only fill one of those roles at a time, I think he can fill just about any of those roles, really. So, and they just need talent on this team that looking like they're trying to rebuild. So instead of going wide receiver to help Minshew, I'm going to go one of my favorite defensive players in this draft, in Isaiah Simmons. At number 10 for the Cleveland Browns, there are reports that they want to trade back and get someone like Cleveland. Do I believe it? Maybe. I think it's a dumb thing for them to do. But no trades in this draft, in this mock. So I'm going to have to go with a tackle here. I think left tackle is where they're going to go. It's going to be Thomas, it's going to be Becton, but it's going to be one of those two guys. I'm leaning towards Becton as the mauler kind of dude. They're trying to run the ball in Cleveland with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt and Jack Conklin. And I think Mekhi Becton's the perfect guy as a mauler in that left tackle spot to really kind of make this team, I think, a contender in the AFC, in my opinion, if they can get that left tackle position really figured out. Here at number 11 for the New York Jets, the main thing with this first round pick has to be help Sam Darnold out. So they can go wide receiver or tackle here, honestly. The guards, too much. So I think it's got to be tackle or wide receiver here. And you're looking at Thomas or Jeudy, in my opinion. Maybe Lamb, but Jeudy or Thomas, in my opinion. I think Andrew Thomas protects them more. I think there's depth for both these positions. I think there's more depth for wide receiver. You might be able to pick up somebody like Ayuk not Ayuk because later, but someone like Rager or Mims, or maybe someone like Ayuk or Hamler, somebody like that in the second to really kind of help Sam Darnold. So I'm going to go with tackle and Andrew Thomas here from Georgia. Number 12 for the Las Vegas Raiders. And the name of the game here is receiver. I think it comes down to Jeudy or Ruggs, one of the Alabama receivers. Mike Mayock likes those championship pedigree kind of players. I think both of those guys are. But I think they get Jeudy as kind of like their Antonio Brown replacement, separation, good speed, good all-around receiver in Jerry Jeudy from Alabama. Here with the 13th pick, you could go offensive line here. You could go corner if the value's here for Henderson maybe. You could go interior D line, but we're not. You could go interior D line, someone like Kinlaw. But in my opinion, I think they're gonna go Henry Ruggs. I think Kyle Shanahan saw the speed that Tyreek Hill killed them with in the Super Bowl and says, "Imagine what I could do with that." Maybe the fastest tight end in football in Kittle. You got your route runner after the catch dude in Deebo Samuel. Now you get your speed demon in Henry Ruggs to take the top off the defense. That offense is scary. Number 14, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this might be maybe a reach in people's opinions. Definitely in my opinion as well. But they need to help my boy Tom Brady. Not my boy, because not a huge fan of Tom Brady since I'm a Dolphins fan. But they need to help him. And they got Gronk, big addition to get somebody he's used to. Got Godwin, got Mike Evans. You can get us running back in the second. So they need all O-line. So in my opinion, they need to pick an O-lineman. It's a stretch, but I'm going to go with Josh Jones out of Houston. Need an offensive tackle. Now he's not going to be there in the second round. If he pans out, you're not going to. If he pans out and you do well this next season, you're not going to be worrying about maybe reaching a little bit on Josh Jones if he's the player that kind of makes this offense work. So I'm going to go with Josh Jones out of Houston with the 14th pick. Here with the 15th pick, the Denver Broncos. Someone slides right in their hands. Is it the best fit for them at wide receiver? No. But is it one of the, maybe arguably the top receiver in the draft? Yes. So I think it's got to be CeeDee Lamb. I think they look at Henderson, like maybe, but trading for Boye really opened up this pick because it was probably gonna be corner if it wasn't for the Boye trade. But I think you got some young prospects in Denver. I think you can go CeeDee. They give you the opportunity to get a sidekick, or even a number one replacement for Courtland Sutton, so you can have Courtland Sutton and CeeDee Lamb on each side of the field. That sounds pretty good to me. So I'm going to go CeeDee Lamb at number 15 to the Denver Broncos. Number 16 for the Atlanta Falcons. And they lost Trufant. Their defense is just in shambles last year. They started to look okay at the end, but they need help. So I think this is the floor for C.J. Henderson. I don't see him falling any more than this. Maybe he falls to the Cowboys, but the news is that C.J. Henderson could go higher than this. He could go somewhere as high as maybe number 9 to the Jaguars. So I don't know, but in this mock, no trades, I got C.J. Henderson going to the Atlanta Falcons at pick 16. Okay, so with the Cowboys pick at number 17, this could be a trade that they try to trade up maybe to get a top player. I don't know. But in this mock, this is kind of maybe something I haven't seen a lot of, but I kind of was leaning towards someone like a corner here like Christian Fulton or somebody like that. But I think this is I think there's maybe you can get a second round pick here where you can get somebody like that. But I think the value is too high for someone like this, even though they did just spend a second round pick on the same at Tristan Hill at the same position. I love Javon Kinlaw. You put him with DeMarcus Lawrence. Maybe somebody like Randy Gregory or Halton Smith actually turns out to play. And then I think, and if LVE and Jalen Smith are healthy, that front seven is beastly. And all you need to do is kind of put some pieces back there in the defensive back room. I think you got something special. I'm going to go Javon Kinlaw. Here at number 18, if you don't get Isaiah Simmons at 5, this is the next best thing, I think, in this linebacker edge, kind of switchy position here, the next best thing. And I'm going to go here with K'Lavon Chaisson out of LSU. He's a linebacker that can blitz. I think he can add extra pounds to kind of beef up and set the edge at the NFL level. but he can also drop back and cover, which is perfect in this Flores really rangy scheme. You're like, Ben, why aren't you taking an offensive lineman here? They need offensive line help, and yes, they do. I know they do. Believe me, I watched them. But K'Lavon Chaisson is a freak, and I don't think you let him pass by here. So I'm gonna go K'Lavon Chaisson. Pick number 19 to the Las Vegas Raiders, and reportedly they think that Jonathan Abrams, a free safety, apparently. I think he's got the athleticism to play that and has the versatility to play that. I think he's better strong safety, but whatever. So I think they pick up a dude that can help them as both a slot corner, strong safety, maybe a little free safety, and Xavier McKinney, one of the Minkah Fitzpatrick of this draft. Like baby Minkah is what he's been compared to. So I'm going to go Xavier McKinney. Number 20, the Jaguars here. And there's a couple places they could go, but I think they lose. I think it's another defensive pick here. They could lose Jalen Ramsey. They get Isaiah Simmons with that first pick. But I think he kind of helps their defensive front out a lot in the box. But they need a corner. So I'm going to go with my third corner off the board here. And Christian Fulton. I think he's a great corner. Injuries hurt him a little bit last year, but I think he's a great player. And a lot of LSU players are going to go in this first round. I think he's just one of them. Next here at 21, the Philadelphia Eagles. They've been hyped up for a wide receiver a while. This is a team that could definitely trade up for someone like Ruggs or Lamb or Judy. But if they don't in this mock and all those top wide receivers are gone, they still take one. They take their slot. They got a few players, but I think they're enamored with a wide receiver here. Even though they have Arcega-Whiteside, I think they go Justin Jefferson out of LSU. Great slot production. I think he fits perfectly with Wentz, and I think he's a great receiver. Here at number 22, the Minnesota Vikings here. They have put their first of two first-round picks, and roads closed was roads wide open last year, and the defense suffered because of it. I think they also let Trey Waynes go, so I think corner is obviously a place they should go with one of these first two picks. I like Gladney as my next corner off the board. I think he would fit well in that Minnesota Vikings defense. Here with the 23rd pick, Patriots have been doing their homework on the quarterback group. And I don't like this because I don't want the Patriots to have another good quarterback. But Jordan Love falls right into their laps here. And I don't think you sweat it. I don't think you bat an eye here if you're Belichick. You get your next quarterback of the future in Jordan Love from Utah State. Next pick, I have number 24 for the Saints. I think this pick kind of seems too perfect, but I'm gonna go with it. Inside linebacker for the LSU Tigers and Patrick Queen. They need interior linebacker. Besides Demario Davis, who's getting older, they really need another dude. Except in Alexander Maloney, is he really the future? I think he's a solid younger player, but I really like Patrick Queen. Only been playing the position for a little while, and he's a Bayou kid. Put him in a Saints uniform and let him play. Okay, here with the 25th pick, the Vikings with their second first rounder, and I think this is where they address that wide receiver need. Could go someone like T. Higgins, Jalen Reagor, Laviska Shenault. But I think the fast riser in this post-college football season reports has been Denzel Mims. I think he would definitely help as a receiver across from Adam Thielen in this offense. Here with the 26th pick for Miami. And yet again, this is something I'm not sure. Josh Jones is kind of the guy they're looking at. I'm also looking at someone like Cesar Ruiz with this pick. But the value's there. And I think they already invested so much in this defense. And so they know the importance of defense. They got Chaisson. They got Leonard Van Noy. They got They got Ogba and Lawson. They got Byron Jones. They have Xavier Howard. They have Wilkins. They have Godcho. Throw a dude over the top that's arguably a top 10 talent in this draft in Grant Delpit. I love Grant Delpit, so I'm going to go Grant Delpit here. Number 27 to the Seattle Seahawks. We all know they're not taking a player here. We all know they're trading back. They trade back in nearly every draft. But if they take him, if they stay here, I think they go edge rusher because they're not getting Clowney back, and get one of my favorite guys in this draft, Yetur Gross-Matos, edge rusher out of Penn State. Kind of gives you that versatility as could be a down lineman, could be a 3-4 edge rusher. But I like him in this Seattle Seahawks scheme. But we know they're not taking a player here. Next, at 28, the Baltimore Ravens. And to me, I think the pick is you could go wide out, you could go running back. But in my opinion, I think the perfect dude to kind of fill in for that C.J. Mosley-esque role they saw leave a few years ago is there in Kenneth Murray. Sideline to sideline, great instincts, great character. Kenneth Murray is the next leader. With Terrell Suggs out the door, I think Kenneth Murray is the next leader of that Baltimore defense for the coming future. Here at 30 to 29, Tennessee Titans. I have them. They could go a few places. Cornerback, maybe get a running back to lighten the load off of Derrick Henry. Maybe go wide receiver. This is a hard team to kind of pick up on, but I have them maybe reaching a little bit, but picking up a right tackle to replace Conklin, who arguably could be better, in Isaiah Wilson from Georgia. Fits in at right tackle. Very strong, very athletic. Another mauler at tackle that fits with that running style game they want. So I'm going to go Isaiah Wilson. Next, at pick 30 for the Packers. And I don't know. The top linebackers are off the board. The top wide receivers are also off the board. Could they go corner? The corners are kind of off the board as well. Is the value there? Could they draft for the future in a line? I don't know. But with me, I kind of went back and I said, they need a wide receiver. I don't want to see I like Aaron Rodgers a lot. But he's a top 3 quarterback in the league right now. But is he going to do all the best he can with Devontae Adams, Chase Sternberger, and so on and so forth? No. So I'm going to have him maybe reaching a little bit and getting one of my favorite receivers in this draft, not of the top 3 or 4, in Brandon Ayuk out of Arizona State. JUCO kid, has a lot of potential, great run after catch, can return kicks. I think he fits that Randall Cobb role very well. And I think he could be one of Aaron Rodgers' favorite targets in the future. Here with the 31st pick, the San Francisco 49ers, they got torched last year in the Super Bowl. A few big plays. I think that defense is very good. They lost Buckner, but I think there's still value at D-tackle later. So I think you look at them and they say, get a defensive back. I really like Jalen Johnson out of Utah. Maybe not the prototypical speed you want. Maybe his kind of physical approach of cornerback won't work as much in the NFL, considering he's smaller than some of these big wide receivers now. But I still like the dog and Jalen Johnson as a corner, and he's my 31st pick for the 49ers. And with the last pick of the first round, I'm not going to give him a running back. I know you might be, then give him a running back. I don't think Andy Reid's going to do it. He's gotten Damian Williams. He's got Darwin Thompson. He's got Darryl. I think he's got plenty of running backs. No need to give up a first rounder. But what they do need is defensive backs. And I think they look at the rangy kid out of Clemson and A.J. Terrell to fill in a role there in that DB room, and hopefully give them a corner that they can kind of develop in the future that can really play. So to recap, we got Joe Burrow, number 1, Chase Young, 2, Jeff Okudah, 3, Jedrick Wills, 4, Tua, 5, Herbert, 6, Derek Brown, 7, Wirfs, 8, Simmons, 9, Becton, 10, Andrew Thomas, 11, Judy, 12, Ruggs, 13, Josh Jones going number 14, CeeDee Lamb to the Broncos at 15, CJ Henderson at 16, Kinlaw 17, Chason 18, McKinney 19, Fulton 20, Jefferson 21, Jeff Gladney 22, Jordan Love 23 to the Patriots, Patrick Queen 24, Denzel Mims 25, Grant Delpit 26, Yetur Gross Matos 27, Kenneth Murray 28, Isaiah Wilson 29, Brandon Ayuk